Hello and welcome to a 1v1 cast. Starting off we have the Emperor of Mankind. I'm not actually sure who this player is. I know that EL's clan leader is also called Emperor of Mankind, but this is not the same person. This is someone who has a fresh Steam account, so I'm not actually sure who this is. So for now I'm going to refer to him as Mystery Man. And on the other side we have DarkHero playing as the Chaos Lord. The map is going to be Judgment of Carrion. Don't see this map too often here in 1v1s, and DarkHero already starting off here. Already has 3 heretics out on the field with a 4th one on the way here. 3 heretics just dotted around the map. And Mystery Man might even decide to go for a second Sentinel, given that there are this many heretics on the field. Sentinels are excellent against heretics. Heretics do struggle against Sentinels in both melee and at ranged units being able to, or the ranged heretics with their grenade launchers, unable to actually hit Sentinels while on the move. Their auto rifles only do 16 DPS total for all 4 models, which is not very effective against Sentinels. And at the same time, grenades can easily get dodged, and in melee, heretics can get stomped and knocked over. And heretics, given how squishy they are, will take quite a large chunk of damage there from these Sentinel stomps. So mass heretics is not going to work out too well here, I don't think, against Mystery Man if he decides to go for multiple Sentinels. One Sentinel is already going to be quite annoying to deal with, just 5 heretics in general. Given the Sentinels 700 HP, it's not exactly easy to kill, especially with just regular heretics. But we will see how this plays out. But already a lot of heretic models have gone down here so far without taking down many guardsman models. In fact, not a single guardsman model has dropped. Meanwhile, you can see multiple heretics have died across the map. But in terms of units count, DarkHero is massively ahead here with 6 units able to go around the map and cap up stuff, in comparison to Mystery Man, who only has 3 units that can actually cap and 4 who can decap if you include that Sentinel, since it can actually decap. Already some more heretics just running in through mid. A single grenade launcher upgrade has already come through here for DarkHero. From seeing him do this build before, I am expecting him to go for 2 grenade launcher heretics, and that's it. He's going to leave the rest melee. He's not even going to get aspiring champions on these other melee heretics. A little bit of friendly fire damage here from these grenade launchers, I think, as the heretics try to chase away that one guardsman squad, and while the grenade launcher heretics are trying to chase them down. Meanwhile, one squad of heretics getting very low here, going to escape away at 63 HP. These guardsmen though getting absolutely surrounded here. The Sentinel stomp coming in is going to force off the other melee heretics here. There is still a squad of melee heretics. They're trying to capture that VP, but the turret is up. The Sentinel is firing away here. The other melee heretic squad is off the field, and so are these grenade launcher heretics. Meanwhile, the Chaos Lord has been busy here, doing some capping here on the side, is now in control of the entire right hand side of the map, and the second Sentinel here has come out, which is going to be a bit of a pain here for DarkHero. Meanwhile, some Havocs are coming out, which will try and make playing against Sentinels a little bit less annoying. The Chaos Lord here just trying to run in. I'm not actually sure what he's going to do, if he's going to go for a decap onto the requisition points or not. Looks like he may even do that, but decides to go for the tower instead, or the turret instead. Turret should be able to fall down here. I don't know if Mystery Man is actually going to go in for the salvage here. Some guardsmen are on their way, going to be unable to get there in time as the turret does go down. Second Sentinel has now got his stomp upgrade as well, so it's going to be protected against these melee heretics here. Meanwhile, they decide to re-engage once again. But very close to the base right now. In fact, Mystery Man can just fall back to his bastion and just reinforce that one model he lost, but it's not really worth it. It's only one model. Might as well wait until you have 2 models down, reinforced 2 at a time, since it does cost the same to reinforce 1 model as it does for 2 models. When you have that sergeant, you might as well wait until you've lost 2 models, just to be that little bit more efficient. Melee heretics going to go in for the capture in mid once again, but again forced off because of these Sentinels here. Very annoying that there's 2 of them, being able to poke down these heretics and be able to bleed quite a few models, whereas DarkHero doesn't really have the units to actually bleed the models against Mystery Man, just like he is doing it to DarkHero. Havocs though going to try and fire away. Lord General is now without any retinue members, is able to reinforce on the field, and is doing so right now. Some spotters, going to be a really nice choice as well against all these heretics, just to keep them in control. These spotter shell or the artillery shell to actually knock them down, being the equivalent of like a ranged stomp, for example, and these smoke shell would be quite nice to actually reduce the range. These Havocs and grenade launcher heretics as well, allowing them to do a bit more. And in fact, a bunker is actually going to go down here in mid, fighting is going to just go on forever here with the bunker going down, with all these heretics just streaming through mid on a constant basis here. The bunker actually gets cancelled there by Mystery Man, deciding he doesn't want to, or the Sentinel ended up pathing on top of it and actually blocking at these artillery spots. So going to be knocking over these Havoc. Double grenade launcher heretics are still on the field here, going to start firing away here. Sentinel is getting hit by those grenades, needs to keep on the move to actually avoid them as much as possible. And meanwhile, some guardsmen and spotters onto that right hand side, going to cap it up. Meanwhile, the Chaos Lord has transitioned into the left hand side to go in for the capture there. It's going to be a combi flamer here for the Chaos Lord. I'm not sure if a combi flamer is worth it, given that it does cost 30 power, and given that the Chaos Lord has been off to the side a lot of the time. It might even be better to just keep that power and wait until the next tier at 500 VPs to 389 here. Lord General has even gone in for the grenade launcher upgrade as well, which is very effective against heretics just because of how grouped these heretics tend to be. Look how tightly these heretics are grouped here, for example, and over here a single grenade will be able to severely injure that squad. If it does land, spot shell going to be going down once again here, knocking over Havocs and knocking over heretics, and the Havocs setting up in the wrong direction. DarkHero will need to move that spotter shell coming down once again. It's going to be a smoke shell, going to be blinding or reducing the range of that Havoc squad and grenade launch heretic squad for a little while. And the Chaos Lord is going in here with the immolate from that combi flamer here, but he's getting very low himself. In fact, he may even go down just down to 50 HP. There's a lot of range damage coming in here. Sentinels, if they have stomp, could use it, but it's not even needed here, as the Chaos Lord will go down there to just purely ranged damage. Meanwhile, two heretic squads here onto the right hand side. Very difficult to keep up the amount of units here that DarkHero has. In fact, he's actually lost a heretic squad somewhere, and I'm not too sure where. But he's now only down to 4 heretics, where 4 heretics is plenty. And meanwhile, neither player has actually reached tier 2 yet. In fact, Mystery Man only on 30 power is quite far away there from tier 2, and DarkHero not that much closer, only 66. Both players going for a quite heavy tier 2s, I believe, here with grenade launcher, I believe, costing 30 power, the 2 Sentinel stomps another 30 power, the artillery spotter another 30 power, and flame guardsman another 15 power, for a total of 105 power there. You know, DarkHero going for 2 grenade launcher heretics, a combi flamer, and Havocs, which brings him to a total of 110 as well. Meanwhile, another dead heretic squad there for DarkHero. There is a third one still that is remaining in melee form. Meanwhile, the other 2 are in grenade launcher form. In fact, no, on the grenade launcher heretics has actually gone down. I believe he did have 2 of them earlier, but he's actually lost 1 of them. So he's now on 2 melee heretic squads. Sentinel going to go for a decap, going to undo the work that those heretics had just done a little bit earlier. And Havoc's going to be setting up there onto that right hand side, going to try and prevent these guardsmen from going in for the capture here. Meanwhile, the grenade launch from the Lord General doing so much work there. Lord General is actually level 4, nearly level 5, and he is not even tier 2 yet. That is how much depth there has been in this game, with the fact that Commander is nearly level 5. Meanwhile, the Chaos Lord, because he's been onto the side capping more often than not, he has not actually had the same amounts of experience as this Lord General. I believe that heretics and guardsmen do give about the same amount of experience, but the problem is that heretics do start off as a melee unit and they need to run into melee combat to be effective, and guardsmen are able to just take down models at range, and then that's fine. And because the heretics are not able to get into melee range too often, they are just getting out-traded here by these guardsmen. The guardsmen are able to pick off more models than heretics are able to take of those guardsmen models, and that means right now that Mystery Man is going to end up with more experience in comparison to DarkHero. But at the same time, DarkHero, having so many units here, has been in control of more income because he's been able to control a little bit more of the map throughout the game. At the same time, DarkHero is falling a little bit behind on VPs, as he was not able to secure the central VP, which was what he fought over for quite some time. At 467 VPs to 347 here, the VPs are still quite close, and DarkHero is going to be the first player to tier 2. Meanwhile, Mystery Man is 20 power behind before he can actually tech up to tier 2. Sentinels getting a little bit low here. We need to be careful here as the Havocs are set up. All these Havocs are only able to fire at this one Sentinel here, and are forced to retreat away before they lose that lead model holding that heavy bolter. And heretics here onto the right hand side, going to get knocked over by some spotters, going to try and go for the capture here, but spotters able to hold their own here. They are very close to their base turret, so even if the heretics engage them in melee combat, they would have had to fight that base turret, would have had to survive through the base turret as well at the same time, and heretics without any kind of upgrade whatsoever not going to be able to stand up against that. But both players now on their way to tier 2. I think for DarkHero he most likely will go for a Blood Crusher potentially. Problem is, if he does go for a Blood Crusher, both these Sentinels I think are going to upgrade to missile launchers in tier 2. The missile launchers are very good against both vehicles and both blobbing infantry as well, with the frag and crack missiles. Crack missiles more obviously more effective against vehicles, frag missiles more effective against infantry. And I think for Mystery Man here, I think that he is probably going to go for, could even consider a Manticore actually with all the heretics on the field. A Manticore, if it does actually land its missile, will instantly kill a heretic squad as soon as it lands in a correct area. And I'm assuming the heretics do not retreat away. Chaos Lord here getting a little bit low, really needs to retreat away. Down to just 260 HP, will be retreating away now, but DarkHero going to be losing his generator farm there, and that's going to be quite a pain here. Plague Marines are going to be the choice here for DarkHero, and Plague Marines are going to be a really nice choice here, given that there are 2 Sentinels on the map. Plague Marines are actually effective against Sentinels, the missile launcher doing full damage to the Sentinels, and also the Plague Marines slow does affect the Sentinels as well, and also the fact that the other 2 models having bolsters gives them some decent damage against Sentinels. Damage over time it does work against the Sentinel. I have seen it with the Plague Champion before, and I'm assuming Plague Marines are going to be the exact same thing. There's also an autocannon upgrade here for the Havoc squad. Not actually sure about the autocannon, if I'm honest. I think that the regular heavy bolter would have been a better choice, but the autocannon would be better at longer ranges and medium ranges as well. Or maybe not necessarily medium, but definitely be better at longer ranges. And Plague Marines are now out in the field, and it's going to be ogryns here for Mystery Man, and ogryns will be quite a nice choice, especially with this autocannon coming in. There is no suppression whatsoever to actually control these ogryns, and the ogryns will have a free-for-all with these heretics, and Plague Marines are unable to do too much against ogryns as well. They will be able to tank the ogryns, but they will not be able to do anything about them since they are super heavy infantry. Plague Marines do quite poorly against them, especially when missiles do not hit. If the missiles were to hit each time, they'd be fine, but because they do not, they are very ineffective against super heavy infantry. The ones with the bolsters are just awful against super heavy infantry, to be honest. And heretics going to be going down here, getting a little bit caught out by the double Sentinels and Guardsmen. A second set of melee heretics going to be engaging Lord General here, but unable to take down any retinue members by the looks of it. The squad will need to be forced away, and some more Flame Guardsmen going to be tearing down even more power here. Even a Shrine of Khorne as well, up in the corner to defend the VP as well. Some grenade launcher heretics going to come in with the grenade barrage, going to knock over some guardsmen, going to allow the Bloodletters to tie them up in melee combat, and some Havocs coming out once again here in response to the ogryns here on the field. Some suppression is desperately needed to actually control these ogryns, because they will be left unchecked. Otherwise the grenade barrage is not the most reliable way to control melee units, just because it can always be dodged, especially when the ogryns do charge in like this, gain so much extra movement speed. Makes it very difficult to actually land a grenade barrage, and even then grenade barrage is not really enough to fully control these ogryns. Spot shell in the base here, going to be knocking the heretics outside of the Bastion heal bonus area. The heretics are vulnerable, but it looks like Mystery Man is going to decide to pull away here, gain some more rescue members here for Lord General, reinforcing him and the Chaos Lord. Has still been on the left hand side, or just on the sides really, and capping the entire game. 430 VPs to 265. Even the natural VP here is captured by DarkHero. Havoc's going to be set up in mid. You also kind of set up a little bit too close here. Plague is going to be pushing forward, and Ogryns trying to force off the heavy bolter Havoc squad here, and looks like it is successful. The autocannon Havoc squad is also forced off. Army Inferno might be something for the Chaos Lord to consider, or even the Lightning Claws or Demon Maul to actually counter these Ogryns. Plague Marines forced off here. The Ogryns are doing so much work in the back lines here, able to force off the heretics. Could even turn, and should return, because they're getting a little bit too close to DarkHero's base here. Chaos Lord is also running away, but he will not go down whatsoever, since he is on 750 HP. In fact, the Chaos Lord is not even retreating away. I thought he was. He's actually going to go after the Ogryns, and he was killed a weak here, but the Chaos Lord is now getting a little bit low. There's one heretic model there, just a little bit aggressive there, just 2 models. The Chaos Lord is actually going to go down here, goes in a little bit too aggressive. Meanwhile, Ogryns going to be losing their Bonehead leader and also going to be losing a second model, and Ogryns still trying to pursue even further and only now getting forced out the area. And it's going to be a Blood Crusher here for DarkHero, which I think is a really nice idea just to get a vehicle on the map, and it's going to force Mystery Man here to actually buy or purchase some sorts of AV, which he cannot currently afford given that the Stormtrooper purchase has just come out and he has no requisition whatsoever. Plague Marine's going to be capping the VP or decapping VP. Meanwhile, also Cannon Havocs and regular Havocs going to be setting up here. You'll see the Bloodlust ability getting used here. Going to try and do what he can, but it doesn't look like a single model has actually gone down, nor a single model lost on DarkHero's side, so the Bloodlust ability there not really going to do too much there. Stormtroopers on that right hand side going to try and fight this Shrine of Khorne. Try to say both words at the same time, but the Shrine of Khorne though is definitely going to go down if left unsupported here against these Stormtroopers. A grenade could even get thrown down as well. Heretics are on their way without any Bloodletters to actually spawn out the Shrine and defend it. These Heretics will struggle. Creeping Barrage though in mid, gonna force off those suppressing Havocs, letting the Ogryns to do what they want here. Heretics did die there against the Stormtroopers up in the top side of the map. That Creeping Barrage is going to be quite painful, knocking Heretics and Havocs. These Heretics and Havocs do need to back away just in time here. Stormtroopers trying to run away down to just 4 out of 5 models. Not that it really matters, and that Blood Sacrifice has gone down here. There are some spawned Bloodletters coming in, but these spawned Bloodletters taking a lot of damage here. Lord General is again tied up by that Blood Crusher as well, but still with a resting member alive here. The Blood Crusher is going to start pulling out of here a little bit. Needs to be careful. These Ogres might be able to finish off this also Cannon Havoc squad though. It is so low right now. A few melee hits, but the Blood Crusher coming in there with the Scream is going to force off those Ogryns and is going to allow his Havocs to live throughout the game. 424 VPs to 257. The Blood Crusher gain a little bit low right now. Needs to be a little bit careful here. The Ogryns are going to try and chase into base here. Grenade Barrage is going to miss. Worship is going to go down. It's going to start healing that Blood Crusher back up and give it a speed boost as well. Meanwhile, there's some suppression onto these Ogryns here, making them unable to chase that Blood Crusher any further. And the Blood Crusher going to try and go in for a model here very aggressively here, but will Scream once again and get these Ogryns away. Ogryns now down to just 2 out of 4 models. One model is still the Bonehead, however the Bonehead remains alive, and Plague Marines could try and kill the Sentinel here, but they actually fired their missile at the Ogryns instead of that Sentinel, and it's going to allow the Sentinel to actually live since it did not get slowed by that Plague Marine missile. Plague Marine missiles slowing by 40%, not quite as effective as the last can. It's 50% slow, but 40% is still extremely good, especially for a squad that does not need to set up. And it's going to be a second Plague Marine squad here for DarkHero, wanting to get rid of these double Sentinels once and for all, and plus the double Plague Marine very durable as well against these Guardsmen on the field here. But Lord General is going to be able to tie up these Plague Marines here. Sentinel is getting a little bit low at 450 HP, but it is level 4. Both Sentinels are very highly leveled, the other one level 3. This level 4 Sentinel has 1030 HP when it is on full health. I get a feeling the Sentinel will not last much longer here. Grenades coming in here as well. Guardsmen going to get forced off. That level 4 Sentinel is going to get forced off and get killed. It's quite a big loss there for Mystery Man. A level 4 Sentinel is extremely good, especially upgraded to the missile launcher as well. That would have been so effective against what's on the field, especially these Havocs, which are very static, very easy to hit with those frag missiles. At the same time, Mystery Man in control of the 2 VPs either side of the center here, meaning DarkHero needs to actually split his forces a little bit and start focusing on the side here. 424 VPs to 178. Looks like DarkHero going to go in for a little bit of power bash here. These double Plague Marines should be able to take down Generator in 2 salvos hit, or 2 missile hits. Could try and run away from these Ogryns in a second, but we'll be able to get 1 Generator here. Going to fall back to the suppressing Havocs here. Ogryns though going to be charging in here. Looks like their charge is not going to knock over these Plague Marines for whatever reason, and level 3 Sentinel is trying to come in. Level 6 Lord General as well. Creeping Bastards Barrage as well coming up in mid. That's going to force DarkHero off completely from the center. He does not want to fight any parts of that, really needing that suppression to actually keep those Ogryns in control, especially when they have the charge ability, and especially when the Lord General has the move ability, allowing the Ogryns to just get into combat super quick. Sentinel is going to try and kite this Blood Crusher, however, and Heretics going to worship that Blood Crusher out of the area. These Heretics will probably stop worshipping and then retreats back to base here. There's currently a 2-0 cap here for DarkHero. 400 or 398 VPs to 162. A generous is starting to get placed down. Once again, this Chaos Lord is incredibly low though. 39 HP. These Stormtroopers and Guardsmen should be able to kill him, and will be able to do so. Stormtroopers doing so much damage there, or so much burst damage in fact. And killing that Chaos Lord is quite a big win there for Mystery Man. Meanwhile, DarkHero coming up down this right hand side here. Looks like he's going to do quite a large push, and going to be some Bloodletters coming out for him as well. The sacrificed Bloodletters done some decent work earlier on in the game, but a real set of Bloodletters are going to come in quite handy, especially when you can worship both of them and the Blood Crusher at the same time. Can make it quite a pain, and the Bloodletters will be excellent against these ogryns. Power melee is so good against super heavy infantry, especially when Bloodletters do 45 power melee per model. They are incredibly strong at fighting ogryns. The double plague marines going to try and slow down the ogryns in the air, going to try and fire away their missiles at this Sentinel as well. Meanwhile, Bloodletters going to phase shift in, or going to teleport in rather. Also Cannon Havoc's going to get forced off here. The Suppression Havocs as well going to get forced off by that Creepling Basilisk Barrage here, and Stormtroopers take quite a lot of damage here from these Bloodletters. The ogryns are relatively untouched for the remainder of this engagement here. Still on 4 models on 1300 HP. Plague Marines trying to force melee into a Guardsman squad here. Stormtroopers with that rapid movement speed from that Lord General's grenade launcher there. Move ability. The Vox Commander is also purchased here for Lord General. Good to see him try and reinforce on the field, and so there's a second Bloodless squad. And here are those on-site reinforcements, going to reinforce those ogryns, reinforce those Stormtroopers, and reinforce those Guardsmen at the same time. Meanwhile, Bloodless going to phase shift here. The summoned in the ones are going to try and chase down these ogryns, but are going to be left unsupported. These ogryns did actually lose the Bonehead upgrade in the duration of that engagement. I'm sure that Mystery Man does have plenty of resources for a new one, although plenty of power, but not maybe enough requisition for a new sergeant on those ogryns, or a new leader on those ogryns just yet. Bloodletters remaining in this fight though for so long, and trying to force off some Guardsmen, and Havoc's coming into the fight once again. The Chaos Lord is going in for the decapture on mid, and going to go in for the capture as well. Following that, Ogryns going to come back in once again here, trying to get that Bonehead leader. Stormtroopers without a grenade available for them. They do not actually have enough energy for it. The Chaos Lord and the Blood Crusher going to be engaging some ogryns here, and Havoc's look like they might be able to barely escape that. 14 HP and on 2 models still. Can you believe it? But the Blood Crusher overextending here, did use its melee charge to get into combat, and does not have the Scream available, and is going to go down here to the heavy melee of those ogryns. Chaos Lord is somewhere in this engagement here. Does use Kill the Weak there, and will end up going down to these ogryns as well. Ogryns with now 2 kills under their belt, killing the Blood Crusher and killing the Chaos Lord. And the Bloodlust activated once again. Bloodlust is going to try and engage these ogryns here, but the Bloodlusters are just so low right now. Needs a phase shift out of there before they end up going down here just on 1 model at 70 HP. It's incredibly low here, and Plague Marines coming back into mid once again. Some more heretics need to get purchased, in fact, and heretics are on the way here. These Bloodletters are in desperate need of worship. At the same time, DarkHero in control of the 2-sided VPs, making it a 2-0 cap for him. 349 VPs to 109 here. Plague Marines on this left hand side, they're going to be a bit overwhelmed here against both the Stormtrooper squad and the Guardsman squad, with a following Guardsman squad coming in here. These Plague Marines will in the end decide to retreat away back to base, and there's the safer option right now. In fact, a Blood Sacrifice is going to go down once again here. Very expensive units to actually sacrifice those Plague Marines here, but they are going to be engaging these Guardsmen here, and that's going to force them into a full retreat. And DarkHero looks like he might be able to hold off this area, although Stormtrooper is going to go in for the decap here, and these Bloodletters do not have enough energy to actually finish these Stormtroopers, or at least force them off. I don't think. 19 energy, they're just losing a bit too much there, and will end up going down before they can even get a single melee swing onto that Stormtrooper squad. At the same time though, DarkHero with more units on the field, some heretics have just come out for him as well in the area, and Havoc's going to start tearing down the generator farm of Mystery Man. Not that it really matters because he has so much power right now, 341 in the bank, having enough to actually take up 2 tier 3, and also have enough power to buy a Baneblade after that, assuming he had all the requisition requirements. Meanwhile, Ogryns is going to be coming into engagement once again. Level 3 Ogryns, in fact. Ogryns normally have 1,875 HP, I believe, and these Ogryns are on 2,270. It makes a huge difference when they are in combat. These Plague Marines are going to get caught out by the ogryns here and going to get forced back to base. Meanwhile, I think everything is nearly level 4 at this point. Level 3 guardsmen, level 4 guardsmen. These guardsmen, in fact, are so close to level 4. Just a couple of more heretic models, stormtroopers as well. Level 3 coming halfway up to level 4 as well. And Lord General himself is level 7, coming extremely close there to level 8. Meanwhile, DarkHero does not have such XP here. Level 3 Chaos Lord, level 2 Havocs, level 3 Plague Marines, level 1 Plague Marines, level 2 Havocs. DarkHero not doing too badly on the leveling side of things, but is definitely not on par here with Mystery Man when it comes to leveling. Heretics barely able to dodge those grenades from the Lord General's grenade launcher. Plague Marines going to be pushing in here with some Bloodletters as well in the area. Ogryns going to be engaging the Plague Marines, and Bloodletters going to go in. Bloodletters are worships right now, so they do actually have the health regeneration bonus. But deciding to enter phase shift mode very quickly here now. The worship support has now left. Bloodletters will be unsupported and will lose against these ogryns and guardsmen together. Bloodletters not being flame resistant infantry, I believe, actually are taking more damage from these flamers compared to flame resistant infantry. Not by much, but the flamers will definitely do quite a bit of damage to these Bloodletters, especially if they're grouped up. And that's the second set of ogryns here for Mystery Man as well. 303 VPs to 72. Ogryns on the left, ogryns on the right, and guardsmen in the middle here. And a Dreadnought is going to come out here for DarkHero. And there is actually no AV to really deal with the Dreadnought, as much as there's a lot of heavy melee on the field. If this Dreadnought is upgraded to a Mark Corn Dreadnought, then things will not be good here. And straight away, the Mark Corn Dreadnought upgrade is getting purchased before the Dreadnought's even made it out of base. And ogryns will not be able to stand up against such a Dreadnought as well, and that means that Mystery Man here is going to be forced to go for a heavy weapons team with a last cannon. I don't think Melter Stormtroopers are the correct option here, just because Melter Storms do not have much range, and as soon as that Blood Rage Dreadnought starts chasing you down, you're going to be able to keep it at a distance. And even the bunker going down here in mid with a bit of a weird picture on it. But the Mark Corn Dreadnought is going to come in through mid. Havocs are pushing in here as well. In fact, DarkHero could go for the capture against this bunker, but might be a little bit worried as to it being booby-trapped or not. Meanwhile, ogryns and all the guardsmen here going to be forced up at the Bloodletter squad that tries to go in for the VP here. Should probably consider retreating away now before they take any damage whatsoever here. Ogryns going to try and chase here on retreat, but that Mark Corn Dreadnought is coming in from behind like a madman here. Going to start chasing down some stormtroopers. Meanwhile, the Havocs are forced to reposition here as the ogryns are going to come in. And in fact, the caps were not in time here. They even noticed that the VPs were ticking down at that low, but Plague Marines were trying to capture it in mid. Meanwhile, Plague Marines started to get a decap on that right hand side, and things did not happen here in time, and it is going to be game here with the Mystery Man winning. And I'm not actually sure who he is or who she is. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but someone let me know in the comments who it is.